Alright guys, gonna try to make this a little bit faster this time. 20 minutes is a little bit long for a video that I want to put out right now. But structuring your nutrition, alright? This is a quick guide and just a general understanding on how to actually make your own meal program, how to actually move towards your goals. This is the hierarchy pyramid. So the most important part of the pyramid is the base. Well, actually, the most important is the ground it sits on. So that's consistency. If you're not consistent with whatever you're doing for anything, it doesn't matter what you're doing up here, right? So find something you can stick to and stick to it. That being said, the most important part of the pyramid is your calories. It doesn't matter if you're higher or lower. If you're not hitting the calories you need to hit, you're not going to move the way you want to move. Next is your macros. Macros are protein and carbs and fats, followed by your micros, your vitamins and your minerals. Now, the next one up, getting to the least important, is timing and frequency. How often you're eating, when are you eating around your day, and all that type of stuff. The very peak is the supplements. So they do the very least. That's the first thing everyone wants to do. I'm trying to build muscle, I'm trying to lose fat, I better go to GNC and get the newest product. Number one thing is start here and work up, and that's going to be just a little sprinkle on top. Okay, moving over. So, calories, the most important. I just recommend finding really any calorie calculator. All it's going to do is give you an educated guess, and we have to move from there anyway. So you can do an equation by hand, or you can just put your numbers in online. There's thousands of them out there. All you're going to do is put that in. It's going to spit out a number, and that's your maintenance calories, right? And then if you put your activity and your goals and stuff, maybe it'll bump it up for your activity. But in any case, that's where you're going to start. I don't suggest doing anything crazy for most people, just a 200, 250 calorie increase or lower to start moving in whatever direction. Basically, that's what you're going to do to start. If after, a couple weeks, the scale's not moving at all and you're not noticing much change, maybe take a small jump up or down. Okay? Not crazy. We don't want to do the crash diet where I have to eat 2,000 calories a day, but I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm going to go to 1,000 calories a day, and that's where I'm going to start. You'll lose weight for sure, but it's not going to be fun. You're probably not going to stick with it very long. You can't really stick with it for that long because once you get down and you start hitting a plateau and now you're only able to burn 1,000 calories a day and you're stuck there, you can't really get much lower than that. And then if you go out anywhere and you overeat one day, you're just storing way more fat and it's discouraging and yada yada, right? Don't do it. Small jumps. Moving up, macros. Protein is the most important one, and we just want about 1 gram per pound of body weight. If you were carrying extra body fat, or you want to be more precise, use lean body mass. So find out what your body fat percentage is, and then find out what your lean mass is, and use that. If you're going for a bulk, you can drop it a little bit to about 0.8, or if you're going for an extreme cut, or you're trying to get super lean and stuff, you can bump it up a little bit more, 1.25, 1.5 even maybe. But general people, 1 gram per pound. Fat, you want a minimum amount of fat. I don't like anybody that would drop their fat super, super low. Fat's important for regulating your hormones, absorbing your vitamins and your minerals. So if you don't have enough fat, you're not going to be functioning the right way and it's not healthy. That being said, a lot of stuff says as long as calories and proteins accounted for, the rest of your macros don't matter. So if you want to eat a lot of extra carbs or you like a lot of extra fats, find whatever works for you and stick with it. If you're going for performance, you're probably going to want more carb heavy depending on what you're performing for. But that'll help drive performance, it'll help put on a little exercise, feel better, move more weight, whatever you're trying to do. That's my general recommendation, but if you're just an average person trying to just live your life, doesn't matter, get that protein in, get that minimum fat, hit your calories, and you're going to be golden. Next one up is your micros. This could be a whole video by itself, but if your vitamins or your minerals, if you're deficient majorly in something, your body's going to be suffering from that. So I would say you can get a blood test and find what you're deficient in and fix it. Common things, vitamin D3, magnesium. A lot of people aren't eating enough potassium. Iodine could be a big thing. For example, if your iodine's low, your thyroid might not be functioning right. Thyroid's not functioning right, you might get sick more often, and also you're not going to be burning a lot of body fat. That's why a lot of people will take thyroid hormones to synthetically do that and burn a lot more body fat. If you fix your issue, you'll be working the right way and you'll be moving towards your goal easier. These are usually where people are lacking. Again, potassium and sodium. If you sweat a lot and train hard, you probably want extra of those. But this could be a whole video on itself, so do with this is what you want. I would say get a blood test, and if not, probably get a vitamin D3 supplement and maybe even magnesium. Most people are deficient in those two, and I feel very confident telling most people to do that. Moving up the ladder, so again, this is like, let's say 80% of the results you're going to get is from these. Moving up, if you're trying to maximize your goals, your gains, and whatever, you want about 20 to 40 grams of protein every 3 to 4 hours, right? There's no method to maintain the amino acids in your blood. They're in there. Once they're out. So you kind of got to feed them throughout the day. That's why I'm not a huge fan of intermittent fasting. If you're trying to put on a lot of muscle or maintain a lot of muscle, if you're trying to bulk and you're fasting, now you have these 2 giant meals you have to eat, and usually eating enough throughout the day is hard enough as it is. Now you have much bigger meals. It's usually not going to be sustainable. But some people can do it. I just don't suggest it for most people. But back to timing. If you're trying to maximize muscle gain or minimize muscle loss, 20 to 40 grams of protein 3 to 4 times a day. Again, if you're a 90-pound girl, 40 grams 3 to 4 times a day is a lot more than you're going to need, so keep that in mind. But there's a few studies showing leucine threshold and muscle gain and stuff like that, and I might be making numbers up here, but I want to say you'll get 80% of the benefit of 20 grams of protein every time, and that extra 10% comes, or that extra 10 to 20% comes from that 40 grams. It's something like that. You get vast majority of the benefit from the 20, but 100% is about at the 40. Again, small numbers we're working with here, but that's what that means. Also, for timing and frequency, you want carbs more around your workout. If you're eating very, very low carbs, I suggest saving it for before your workout. And then if you get a little bit more before and after your workout, if you're an athlete or somebody who's training hard or have a strenuous job, carbs before and after your workouts, so you can recover faster and you can perform later. If you're an average person, it doesn't matter that much. By the time you come back to your workout 24 hours later, you probably eat enough carbs throughout the day to fill your glycogen stores back up and perform. So that's not as needed. Alright, very tip-top supplements. If you find one that works, it doesn't work as well as the rest of these. And most of them are gimmicky and don't work as it is. So there's a few things that are very proven to work, like creatine. 5 grams of creatine is one of the most studied supplements out there. If you're eating a lot of red meat, you might be getting 5 grams as it is. If you're not, throw it in. It's super cheap. All you need is creatine monohydrate. The most studied one out there. It's super, super, super cheap, and it's fine for you. They've been studies on body composition, performance, and cognitive enhancing brain, helping you think and perform mentally as well. And that's a little bit newer. But again, creatine monohydrate. The next one, protein powder and carb powders. They're super shown to work, but they are not nearly as good as your meals. So that's a band-aid. You want to make sure you hit your actual meals before you go to the supplements, the powders, right? This is a silver medal at best, okay? But they do work. They do help. So that being said, you can do that. Before you get into this, just generally you should know protein and carbs are about 4 calories per gram. So if I have 10 grams of protein or 10 grams of carbs, that's 40 calories, okay? Fat is 9 calories per gram, so it's a lot denser, but this is the values that we're going to be working with. Come over here, an example for you. If I'm a 200-pound person and I am 50% body fat and I want to lose weight, that would mean I have 100 pounds of lean body mass. If I put myself into a calculator and I figure out, let's just say it's asking me to get 2,000 calories a day, right? So that's what I'm going to use just for numbers' sake. I need 100 grams of protein. So 100 grams of protein, that's 400 calories. 50 grams of fat to hit my minimum, that's 450. So now I'm at 850. right? And now I have like 1100, 1150 calories left. I can do that whatever I want. If you like carbs, eat more carbs. If you like fats, eat more fats. If you like a mixture of both, that's fine. Hit those and you'll be all right. If you're an athlete, or if you're trying to be a bodybuilder or put on a lot of size or whatever, I would say try to put most of those back into your carbs just for performance. But again, that's up to you. Now, that 100 grams of protein might sound like a lot for some people, especially if you're not eating a lot. But I mean, the bigger you are, the more you need. So the easiest way to space that out is 3 to 5 meals. If you hit 25 grams, it's not that hard to eat. And if you do that 4 times a day, that's great. But if you take one of these out or you miss a couple, now you have 50, 75, 100 grams to make up at the end of the day. And that's when it starts to suck. So if you space it out throughout the day, it's easier to get it all in. And it's better for this reason as well. Alright guys, I hope this helped you guys. If there's any questions, comment or DM, I'll help with whatever I can. Share this video with anybody that you think could use it. And as always, good luck.